So the brand new DLC for Assetto Corsa is out, and I said that I wanted to do a review on it. Today is that day. Let's start talking about some cars. Let's talk about this car first. The Mclaren F1 Gtr. Oh my god, I don't even know where to start with this thing. It's just, I have a thing for McLaren, okay? I have a thing for McLaren. I would say this particular McLaren is probably the best one ever made. I love how you sit in the middle. There are probably a bunch of other cars where you sit in the middle, a bunch of track cars, but for whatever reason, this one in this game, it just feels amazing. It's got incredible grip in this game. It's not the easiest thing to drive. It's also not the hardest thing. There's a nice learning curve where you do spin out at the beginning a couple of times. The grip's really good. It's just fun. It's a fast car. I like it. Probably my favorite car in the entire pack, I must say. Really good car. Anyways, let's talk about this guy, the Mercedes C9. I'm going to be honest. I had a lot of issues driving this thing. I found it super, super difficult to drive for a couple of reasons. One, the steering felt kind of light. I don't know why that was. The steering just felt kind of off. I'm not really sure why that was, or if it was only me, or if it was something weird that happened with my game. I don't really know. But I had that issue. The car's super powerful and also extremely, extremely light. Combine those three things together, and I crashed a lot. I had a lot of trouble driving this car, and I spun out a lot while recording this video. I don't know if it was just me who finds this car difficult to drive, but I had some issues with it. Overall, though, if you are a little bit better driver than me, and you don't spin out every 32 seconds, this car is really quick and really, really cool. So, yeah, something you might want to try out. It's difficult to drive, though. Let's just leave it at that. After that, the Nissan Nismo GTR. Oh my god. It's insane. It's a GT3 version. It's just fast, 600 horsepower. It's really good. It's a GTR. I would probably say that this was the most requested car in this entire pack. It's a fun car to drive. It's a really, really fun car to drive. It also sounds freaking amazing in this game. Just take a listen. On the same sort of playing field as that is this guy, the C7 GT car. It's just a fun car to drive around in. Similar to the GTR, it feels really good to drive. It's not too hard to drive, and it's also not too easy. Sort of makes you learn how to drive it at the beginning, but after you've sort of mastered it, it's not too bad at all. The C7's a really fun car standard, and with all these upgrades and extra boosts, it's a good car. It's a really good car. I'm a big fan of these style of cars, so more of these are always, always good. I really enjoy them. Probably the most unexpected car, for me at least in this pack, was this guy, the Alfa Ti V6. First of all, it's the first all-wheel drive car ever in Assetto Corsa. Very, very cool car. They did a great job doing all the all-wheel drive stuff. It feels very, very good to drive. I don't know what it was. I just sort of mastered this thing right away. I didn't have any issues crashing or anything like that. I just had a lot of fun with this thing. The grip is amazing, the speed is awesome, and it also sounds pretty good. It's a fun little car. I would say second favorite car in this entire pack. It's really fun to drive around in and just banging some hot laps. Good car. Very good car. Anyways, let's talk about this guy, the Mercedes 190e. It's another touring car similar to that Alfa. Very, very cool. I remember this thing back in Forza 4 just banging in hot laps. In this game, it is no different. It is an awesome car just to drive around in, bang in hot laps. It's got a great learning curve. Like, you spin out at the beginning, but after that, the handling is great. It's got some really, really nice speed on it, and it's just a really nice car to drive around in. So yeah, overall with this thing, great, great car. I love to see these touring cars. They're always really fun. Sadly, where I live, I don't get to see these things enough. They're really fun to drive around in, I must say. Try this thing out. You will not be disappointed. Let's talk about the P1 and the Nürburgring itself really briefly. I actually did an entire video already talking about the Nürburgring and the P1 in a separate video. So if you want to check that out, I will include a link down below. But basically, the P1 felt really, really good in this game, and the Nürburgring is simply incredible. Anyways, let's go back to the cars. I tried driving this thing. This is an Alfa 4C. It's Alfa's brand new car, and I didn't really take fancy to it very much. I don't know if it was because I was driving all these race cars before I drove it, but this thing just felt kind of weird. Kind of felt very strange. Going around some of these corners, it feels like it's gonna flip. It feels very, very bouncy. I'm not really sure if it's because it's a street car and there's no tuning done to this thing, but it just feels really, really weird to drive around a racetrack. Going on some of these corners, it feels like it's gonna roll. It might be because A, it's a street car, not really designed for a racetrack and not really stiffened up, or because it's super lightweight. I don't really know why, but it just felt kind of weird. Cool car to mess around with, but was kind of weird to drive around and be like on a tipping point is what it felt like. Anyways, let's talk about this thing, the BMW 235i. I've been sort of getting bored with BMW recently, but this is completely different than all the other things. This thing is just amazing. It's a racing version of the 235i, so it's stiffened up and everything for a race circuit, and it just feels really, really good. I would say this thing, at least in this game, feels like the perfect car. It's my perfect weight for a car. It's smallish, so you can sort of chuck it around a little bit more. The speed is great, and it feels really good. I would say definitely up there in terms of really great cars to drive around in this game. Anyways, let's finish it off with this car, the Alfa GTA. I don't know what it was about this thing. I just found it really, really cool. I don't really know why. It doesn't feel particularly good to drive. It's not particularly fast, but it's just fun. It looks really cool. It's like a classic little car, and it's just fun to drive around in, I must say. So those are my thoughts on the Dream Pack number 1. I enjoy the pack quite a bit. I would say strong points are definitely the McLaren F1, the Nissan GTR, and the BMW 235i. Very, very cool cars. The Nürburgring itself feels absolutely amazing. And then the weaker side, for me at least, is that C9, just because I'm not good enough to drive it. And then that 4C just felt kind of weird racing it around a track. So anyways, guys, let me know what you think of this pack in the comments down below. If you guys enjoy these reviews, let me know, and I will make sure to do some more of them. Anyways, guys, hopefully you enjoyed. I will see you in the next one.